Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Olasara man found dead near his home. LTA officers operate with land lease title for over 20 years. And parents urged to monitor children as smoking pictures emerge.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
A family is tonight traumatized and seeking answers after a man was found dead a few meters away from his home in Olasara, Singatoka last night. The gruesome find by the son of the deceased has also shocked the small community, where people are still trying to come up with answers as to what actually happened last night. Akusita Tale reports.
The 48-year-old carpenter's wife recalls in her last conversation with her husband, he said to prepare dinner and wait for him to return from a meeting. Urmilawati says she received a call to open the gate at around 8:30, and this was the last she heard from him.
I got a call from him around 8:30 p.m. to open the gate and wait for him, but before he arrived, my son ran to me and told me he saw his dad's shoes on the road, so we went to see him but couldn't find him, and I returned home.
Her son discovered the body when returning from playing soccer at around 9 p.m. The deceased was described as a jovial, friendly and an outgoing person.
Yeah, 3 days ago I was here. I came to meet him and he was so happy.
The man had visible injuries and was rushed to the Singatoka hospital where he was pronounced dead. Whether the death was a result of foul play or accident will be determined following the post-mortem examination expected soon. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
The Land Transport Authority has revealed some of its officers have been without their land lease title for almost 20 years. This was the main point discussed during their presentation to the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee today. Ali Kimbia reports.
The Land Transport Authority has been acquiring the land lease titles for its various offices since the transition was made from the Department of Road Transport to LTA.
And we have corresponded with them since we are just part of General Government. And money paid from the Land Transport Authority will end up in the same coffers. We have requested them if that could be waived, and there's to and fro correspondence between both parties. Like I mentioned, till date the status quo still remains.
LTA General Manager Legal Navilesh Chand clarified, as per Section 32 of the Land Transport Act 1998, all properties and assets belonging to the Department of Roads Transport should be vested with LTA.
So in nutshell, some 20 years back, the Parliament has passed a law in the normal transition that normally happens. Similarly, that has happened for FRA, Maritime Safety Authority and other statutory authorities, which has then been corporatized.
However, the previous office holder didn't deal with the issue, which the current administration is trying to deal with in an expeditious manner. LTA says these are only administrative issues which, upon proper verification of past records, can be resolved at earliest. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The Native Lands Commission has instructed the police to stop the installation of Ratu Apinisa da Kambao as the Vunivalu of Mbao tomorrow. This after the 4 chiefly households of the Tuikamba clan were unable to resolve the dispute and come to an agreement. Commission Chair Ratu Isireli Vananalangi confirms they have received a letter disputing the installation of Ratu Apinisa from Ratu Chochi Kandavulevu da Kambao, his elder brother. Vananalangi says the protocol to select the proposed candidate, Ratu Apinisa da Kambao, has been breached, and the Turanga Narakutui Mbao has withdrawn from his duties to install the chief. He says the Commission is acting fairly and reasonably to stop the installation in order to conduct the inquiry and resolve the dispute. Parents are being urged to be aware of the whereabouts and activities of their children, especially after school hours. This advice comes from the National Substance Abuse and Advisory Council after a video surfaced on social media showing a group of students in uniform smoking cigarettes. Kelly Vadala reports.
These images from social media are one of the issues the National Substance Abuse and Advisory Council has been highlighting for years, but they cannot do it alone.
When they come out of the school gates, then peer pressure comes in, and all other factors come in, and that is why it's important that parents need to be aware of what their children are doing, be mindful of what they consume and what they do out there in the public.
Seneca Rawa is advising students not to indulge in substances that can be harmful to their health.
They need to be mindful of the image they will be portraying of their schools. But those are the choices that the students are making, how they view the importance of the school, the institution that they are in.
Police Chief of Operations Maratino Gyolebu says the younger generation need to make the right choices in life in order to have a bright future.
This is a time where as children we tend to explore more on things that are happening out there on the ground, but just remember, some of these habits will in fact spoil our future.
Even though the video has been taken off social media, NZEC says they will still continue their awareness programs to help students understand the effects of drugs. Kelly Vatala, FBC News.
Being diagnosed with diabetes at a young age can come as a shock and even a challenge for a teenager or young adult. FBC News spoke to two young diabetics, members of Young Diabetes Fiji, who grew up living a healthy life but never knew they'd be diagnosed with diabetes at a very young age. Akusita Tale reports.
24-year-old Shika Kumar presented herself in hospital with headaches and flu in 2010, only to leave hospital diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, an insulin-dependent diabetic at the age of 16.
Everything is just falling apart, like, the big dreams you have of going to college and eating this and going here and there. It just all seemed like impossible, I mean, the first part that I could not focus in class.
The preschool teacher says it took almost 5 years to accept she will be a diabetic for the rest of her life.
You might think I'm still young and I can't get it, but just get checked, Have your blood sugar checked at the health center or just go for a general checkup.
3 years ago, 18-year-old Adash Aniket was rushed to hospital for dehydration. Blood tests revealed he had diabetes at the age of 15.
When I known that I had diabetes, I became very emotional. I cried a lot and I didn't thought that a person like me can get diabetes.
Living with diabetes is challenging for anyone but can be especially difficult to young adults. And the Young Diabetes Fiji group is calling on the public to get regular checks to ensure they are diabetes-free. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Still to come, British Airways joins hands with Fijian counterpart. And Welfare Ministry welcomes election office move. Stay with us.
Bula, nevang go malakai leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Gua Dr. Meli, ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Warong tunga ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere nawaluan.
Nevang go fani na tao no hinga toka, kita untuk talita kina Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
The new partnership between Fiji Airways and British Airways will open up more routes between London and the South Pacific than ever before. British Airways has already begun selling flights between Singapore, Los Angeles and San Francisco, and the Fiji Gateway of Nadi direct on BA.com. Ritika Pratap reports.
The new code share will make Fiji more popular with European travellers, giving Fijian tourism a chance to develop the UK market.
We'll work closely with our friends at British Airways to drive bookings and to grow new visitors to Fiji and beyond to the wider South Pacific.
The new partnership comes days after the national airline signed up to become One World Connect partner, a new platform for airlines to link up to the Global Airline Alliance, which includes British Airways as a founding member.
Together, we serve more than 1,000 destinations in 150 plus countries. And now with Fiji Airways, 160 countries.
It's not just about connecting Fiji Airways to the One World Group, but it's also about ensuring that 884,000 Fijians also benefit from it. And so please keep that in mind. When you actually do sell our products, when we do talk about our country, We are all about empowering ordinary people.
Fiji Airways operates international and domestic services to 12 countries and 31 cities. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Social Welfare Ministry says the decision by the Fijian Elections Office to freeze any change of details to voter cards in the Western Division is timely. Permanent Secretary Dr. Josefa Koroevueta says they've had more than 100 cases of questionable applicants for assistance offered under the Homes Care Initiative. Maggie Boyle reports.
The Fijian Elections Office responding to reports where some Fijians changed their address details just to qualify for the Homes Care Initiative.
We do not want cases where fraudulent information is provided to the FEO for the purposes of fraudulently obtaining assistance under any of the initiatives.
The ministry responsible for the initiative says this could not have come sooner with a number of questionable applications.
More than 100, but it was significant because it raised an important trend, and I'm just so glad that the supervisor of election had given the authoritative advice.
The PS warning Fijians not to break the law.
Giving false information is a crime. They will be liable to penalty. They will be liable to the full brunt of the law. If they are trying to test the system, then I would strongly advise them not to.
The Homes Care Initiative is expected to wrap up by the end of next month, with random audits on applicants being carried out, the SOE noting that they would reassess their freeze by June end. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
6 months into 2018, the Employment Ministry is yet to receive any report of child labour. This is a huge milestone, considering that in the last 6 years, the ministry was removing children from workplaces and taking them back to school. Eleanor Turangaivu reports.
Fiji recorded about 200 child labour cases from 2011 to 2017.
We are proud that all these children are now in school. So we should not let any child go back to child labour. And we'll try our best to have child labour-free society. Our aim is by 2025. The Sustainable Development Goal, by 2025 we are going to eradicate the problem of child labour.
The International Labour Organization, along with the Ministry of Employment, today observed World Day Against Child Labour in Lambasa.
Let's join our hands together with all stakeholders to eliminate child labour from our society, because elimination of child labour is everybody's business.
The celebration today included a workshop on child labour identification and reporting, as well as health and safety at work for teachers and students of Lambasa schools.
Students, they have a future, and we do not want these students' future to be affected because of the situation they are in.
World Day Against Child Labour is observed on June 12th globally. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
The second phase of dredging of the Singatoka River has started. Minister for Waterways, Dr. Mahendra Reddy, says in the past 30 years, Singatoka has experienced frequent flooding, with the 2009 floods being the worst in Fiji's history. Dr. Reddy says $4.65 million has been allocated for this work.
We're looking at a total of 750,000 cubic meter of silt to be removed over a 4-month period. It's a 4-month project. Now, this is a substantial amount of work, and if we are able to, if we complete this work, and I think there will be a major relief to the communities, to the town as well.
In sports later with Jamie, New South Wales wins Origin opener, but up next is Kelly with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening. And coming up after the break, Bollywood start to promote Fiji in India. And in growing Fiji, Shriji opens 8th outlet in Fiji. Stay with us.
Voila, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singatoka. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM.
only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nursery. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Aochiga, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, Bollywood actress Ileana D'Cruz is in Fiji again to explore various activities and showcase more of the country's unique offerings to potential travelers from India. D'Cruz, who is also the ambassador for Tourism Fiji, visited the Rampur Primary School in Navua. Her message to the students is to always believe in themselves while growing up.
No matter what, you're going to have people say, you know, you can't do something, and they're going to try and tell you not to do something and not encourage you, but you are your biggest supporter. So you believe in yourself and you be that big powerhouse behind you, the big willpower, and you're like, I can do this.
Following a successful travelogue that was filmed in Fiji last year, which was done in partnership with the Times of India and Tourism Fiji and Fiji Airways, she's continuously promoted Fiji on her social media channels and like Instagram, which has about 8 million followers worldwide.
We now join Shoren from the HFC Bank with the latest from the money world.
A brief update on the global financial markets. Things seems to be closer to normal today. The panic and fear that prevailed for the past few weeks due to trade wars and global politics has eased. Australia has released a disappointing trade balance figure. The value of exports fell 2% to 34.2 billion, while imports were flat at 33.4 billion for a trade surplus of $977 million. Meanwhile, the US trade deficit narrowed to 46.2 billion in April as their exports surged to a record high of 211.2 billion, while imports slipped 0.2% to $257.4 billion. The EU will release their trade balance and GDP numbers tonight, so we'll see what impact this all will have on our Fiji dollar tomorrow. That's it for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Taking a look at the currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar, it was a mixed day for the Fiji dollar on foreign exchange markets. Our dollar rose against the US dollar, New Zealand dollar and Kina, and the yen, showing minor declines against the other currencies we cover. In the commodities market price, oil continued to drop, closing at $64.94 a barrel. Gold was down to just above $1,296, and silver still on the rise at $16.62 an ounce. In growing Fiji, Indian costume jewelry and clothing store Sri Limited today opened its 8th shop at Damodar City in Lodhala Bay. Owner Nilesh Patel says they've invested $250,000 in this new outlet. Patel says customer demand led to the opening of this new branch. He says this is a perfect time as they expect business to pick up due to Eid celebrations. The new outlet has provided employment to 9 people.
In Damodar, I sell it the Indian jewelry. Because Indian jewelry, I have the big range of Indian jewelry, and I sell the Indian cloth, Indian cloth also big range, and our focus is the bridal wear in the Damodar city.
And that's business for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thanks, Kelly, and good evening. Ahead in sports, McKee names team for June Test opener.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Fiji Airways Flying Fijians head coach John McKee has named their starting lineup to take on Samoa in their June Test Series opener this weekend. The side sees debutant Seroni Maui, Alibreti Vetokani and Ratu Vere Vungakoto on the bench, while rising star Sebanai Ngalala earns a start at inside centre. Akapu Singera will captain the side, with offload king Leone Nakarao named in the forwards, and the Viva Premiership Player of the Year, Bereniki Ngoneva, expected to ignite the backline at wing. The Flying Fijians play Samoa at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday at ANZ Stadium in Suva. Meanwhile, following the team announcement, John McKee said he was very pleased with the commitment from the local-based players in the squad. Meli Tavanga caught up with the head coach at training today and filed this report.
After an intensive couple of weeks in camp, Coach John McKee is impressed with the talent shown by local players in the squad who proved their worth to the selectors.
I really compliment and congratulate the new local players that are getting a chance this week, and they've got the opportunity now they've really got to step up and show them what they can do.
Loose head prop Kempis Maafu says the debutants in the squad will have a lot to offer come game day.
Got a lot to offer, and we've really helped them through this week, and they've really showed a lot of confidence throughout their training, and big ups to Vungakoto and Maui.
McKee is also pleased with the performance of overseas base players Charlie Vatumbua and Benito Masilevu.
Oh, Charlie and Seva really gelled together very well. You'd almost think they'd been playing together, for a long time. But they've developed a very good combination there very quickly, which is important for us this week.
With size, power and skills across the midfield and wings, the combination of Ngoneva, Ngalala, Vatumbua and Masilevu are said to be a threatening force for Fiji. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
Fiji Airways Sevens captain Jerry Tuwai has commended the team's commitment to maintaining its top form on the World Sevens Series after former coach Ben Ryan's departure. Tuwai believes coach Gareth Baber has done a lot to carry on from the standards Ben Ryan set by developing the team further. Meli Tavanga reports.
Skipper Jerry Tuwai says coach Gareth Baber had big shoes to fill when he first started coaching the side.
There's a lot of big shoes for Gareth to fill and for the boys. But now I know that everything that's Ben's teaching, that Gareth's teaching, and all the boys are binding really well.
Tuwai says they will not underestimate any team, as everyone has evolved in the World Sevens Series.
All the boys are really good. They're training right now, and now all our focus is on Paris and with South Africa and New Zealand. Much respect to them. You have lots of respect to all the teams that we are playing, to all our pool games.
It is a proud moment for Sione Molia after being named co-captain of the All Black Sevens.
Almost the same feeling as running out on the field. You get to get your name out there as well. Not only on camera to represent yourself, but your country and your family.
Fiji's pool has been classified as the pool of death, as they are grouped with New Zealand, Samoa and Kenya. They just need a third-place finish at the Paris tournament this weekend during the 2017-2018 World Sevens Series. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Warriors lost their second game of the Nations Cup in Uruguay after being hammered 75-15 by Argentina 15 this morning. Fiji scored its one try in the first half, which came from Apete Ndaveta, and a successful penalty by Enele Malele. The first half saw Argentina score 4 tries, giving them a 26-10 lead at halftime. Aselia Tunaisa scored Fiji's final try in the second half. The Warriors will meet emerging Italy on Sunday in their last game. Despite winning their last encounter, the Georgia rugby team are not underestimating Tonga in any way ahead of their 2018 Pacific Nations Cup match. With the last meet in 2016, Georgia coach Milton Haig says they expect a stronger Tongan side this Saturday at Suva ANZ Stadium. And while they are ranked higher than the Pacific team, they've had to also do the hard yards at training for the past few days.
See, we got Tonga in the weekend, and so we know how hard Tonga will be. We played them here 2 years ago and also at the World Cup, so we know Tonga will be very motivated to obviously get a win, and so are we.
The Vodafone Fiji Fact Final between Lambasa and host Rewa this weekend is expected to be closely contested. Fiji football CEO Mohammed Yusuf says both teams have prepared well, and it's hard to tag any team as the top bet.
Rewa is a team that can do anything, because looking at the performance in the National League, They were down, but comes to the tournament, they are now there in the final, and they are the defending champions, so nothing can be taken away. But Lambasa is the form team, so it's going to be a crack of a game.
The Fiji table tennis cadet boys team started on a high note last night, winning its first 2 matches at the 2018 ITTF Oceania Junior Championship in the Cook Islands. The Fijian side beat Wallace and Fortuna in 3 straight sets and accounted for the Cook Islands with the same result. However, they later lost to New Zealand and Australia by 3 straight sets. Meanwhile, the Fiji cadet girls team went down to New Zealand 3-1 last night in their first match. They were earlier beaten by the Cook Islands 3-0. An inexperienced New South Wales outplayed Queensland 22-12 in last night's State of Origin Series opener in Melbourne. The All Black side to take on France this Saturday at Eden Park has been named, and in a first for the world #1 team, 3 brothers will run on in the starting 15. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media right after the break. A look at all the features packed into Motorola's Moto Z3 Play. That's coming up.
Narang golesenya, Obama kita kena kas, dorong bina kape, on radio Fijuan, nandong ibit.
Ayaw benyana, dito barong na radio Fijuan, nandong ibisi, ihi natoka.
Gue ado ilaisa ingatoka, rong bina na heramakawa ina radio Fijuan ingatoka.
Radio Fijuan, nandong ibiti.
In new media tonight, Motorola's Moto Z Play series has always focused on good battery life. With the latest entry, the Moto Z3 Play, Motorola has created a phone thinner than the iPhone X, but with battery life that equals its predecessors. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's the return of showers and we're pretty much having these conditions throughout Fiji. Now all this is due to a low pressure system which is gradually moving over us. Taking a look in the west, a mix between sun and showers. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, a gloomy and rainy one, light showers lined up for tonight. And up north, more of the same, expect light showers overnight as well. At sea, east to southeast winds gusting to 25 knots with rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 1:28 a.m. with low tide at 7:27 a.m. Sunrise at 6:33. For tomorrow, I know it's the marvelous Friday, but current indications tell of showers. For the temps, Abao will be the coolest at 26 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, light showers are in the bag. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we ask, should all employees do regular checks on their FNPF deductions?
Check their payslip and see if the deduction is coming on, and they should also check the statement from the FNPF that's coming into them every 6 months or so.
The people should know because they are sweat. And what they do, they should know why the money goes where, how much the deduction going on.
Yes, I think it's important because so that the employers can be aware of the deduction that is being made to their salary.
My name is Nafis. I always check my FNPF because it's my deduction.
All employees should check on the FNPF and the contribution to the deduction made onto their account. So yes, they have every right to check on their accounts.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, Olasara man found dead near his home. LTA officers operate with land lease title for over 20 years. And parents urged to monitor children as smoking pictures emerge. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, do you think more should be done to develop the Fijian fashion industry? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Rinal Chand. The picture was taken on the Lomawai Road in Singatoka. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ से। जैसे ट्रेनी नॉर्थ मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।